Welcome, everybody, to Strangest Species, episode number 41. I am your host, Mike Davis, here with the one and only...
Ethne.
That's cool. Ethne Davis.
Yep,
How you
that's
doing
me.
today?
Oh, just wonderful. The weather has been incredible the last 3 days. Like, just absolutely perfection.
Yeah, it's been really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
We took major advantage of that today.
Every day, really.
That's true.
We really did.
We had some friends unexpectedly come in over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Unfortunately, I had some commitments, indoor commitments, that kept me from being outside as much as I would have liked to, or taking our friends around. But, it was just gorgeous.
But today was awesome. We got in some hiking.
Yep.
Explored a new area.
Yep.
And we went over to another friend's house.
Got to play some pickleball.
Played some pickleball. Kind of.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Fit in some church in there.
Did all the things.
All the things.
All the things.
Yep.
On our hike today, one of our sons got a nosebleed.
Always. Someone always does something.
No matter what we do, one of our children will always get a nosebleed. But this son then proceeded to... It was so nice outside. All of our boys had taken their shirts off. So they were hiking without
Topless.
shirts. Yeah.
That's not the right word. Shirtless.
And so they had them, over their shoulders or whatnot. So this son got a nosebleed and then for some reason decided to rub it all over his hands. I don't know what he was doing.
We never know, but
This
that's
is
okay.
true. With this child, we do never have any clue what he's doing.
But it was all over.
It, like, from the tip of his nose to the bottom of his chin and both hands
Just like
were...
covered.
It looked like he had, like, bitten into a squirrel while it was alive and then just grabbed it and squeezed all the blood out of it or
It
something.
was so gross.
Yeah, it was strange for sure.
It was strange. It cut the trip just a little short, but we were going to head home soon anyway. So
But that kind of pushed us over the edge of, we're probably done.
Yep. It's time to go back.
Time to head home.
So, but then after we had dinner, we went back out. It was really fun.
Yeah. So Ethne,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to talk about today?
Ooh, what do I want to talk about?
Yeah. We're going to get right into it today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I had
You can't
something
even
in
come
mind
up
that
with
I was
something,
going to
huh?
say.
Actually, before we talk about anything, if you are one of our regular listeners, so last week we filmed, we did a video filming.
Yep, first time.
I made 2 really cool intros and I could not get either of them to upload to YouTube.
Okay.
So I eventually just uploaded the raw video and it was not good, but at least it was up because I told people I was going to do it. So this week probably won't also have a cool intro because I haven't figured that out yet, but this video will still be up. So what I would like for you to do, if you are a regular listener, I would love for you to go to YouTube, look up Strangest Species Podcast, and just give the video a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, that would be even cooler. But if you don't, so be it. But if you just give it a thumbs up and make a comment, write something in there about the video. You can say, Ethne, your eye, it looks so not bad. Or you can say, Mike, you need a haircut. Or whatever it is you want to say.
Or your hat
shirt
is
literally
cool, but
has holes in
your
it.
shirt, your favorite shirt is falling apart.
It is my favorite shirt.
He loves this shirt, you guys.
When you have a favorite shirt, you just have to hold on to it forever.
I even tried to find him a new one, and
She bought me the exact same shirt in green.
but it's not the same.
But it was like 2 years later, it's a different material. It just doesn't fit the same.
It's very sad.
It does have the same. This one's got a big hole on the side from where our dog
It has stains.
jumped up and bit me. Like we were playing.
No, she didn't bite you.
Yeah.
Well, she was trying to.
Like I had like her rope and stuff.
Yeah, she was trying to get you her rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just playing. But she put a hole in it.
Oh yeah, you got stains on it. It's.
Love it.
I tried to get him a new one, but he just. Nope.
Absolute no.
It's an absolute no.
But anyway, so we'd love for you to go find the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment.
Okay.
If you want to subscribe, great. But YouTube would really help things grow a lot. But we still do have a lot of wonderful listeners, literally in every continent.
It's pretty fun.
Except for Antarctica. But I don't know if they track Antarctica.
We're seeking to get Antarctica just because it would be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
So, hey, Eth, have you ever been on a cruise?
No.
Really?
You're not talking about a cruise, are you? This is a little too close to home still.
We might be talking about a cruise, but a river cruise.
Okay, out in Europe?
Out in Europe.
Okay.
Not an open water ocean cruise.
So, the Bairds, Chandler and Daniel Baird, they just came home from a river cruise. That's why I know about it.
Okay.
Or when I said
one of the Viking cruises.
I don't know if it was a Viking cruise or not, but in
I
Europe,
just see the commercials all the time.
it's like a 10-day. I don't even know, but yeah,
Sweet.
I know it sounded amazing.
Sounds amazing.
I think we're cruise cursed.
I hope not.
Well,
But we're over 2.
we're 0 for 2, so.
Well, we're not nearly as cruise cursed as the people we're going to talk about today.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So we're going to go back to the year 1878.
They had cruises back
They
then?
did. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa, that's a long time ago.
In September, and this is in England.
Okay.
This is a river cruise on the Thames River.
Okay.
Spelled with a TH.
Thames.
The Thames River.
Kind of like Thom.
Kind of like the name Thom.
Do you remember Thom?
No.
Oh, Miyuki and Thom.
Oh. Are these your
My Japanese.
neighbors?
No. Remember the ones we went and...
Oh, yeah. I didn't know he was spelled with a TH.
Yeah, he's a Thom.
Oh.
It's really Tomatsu.
Yeah,
But when they write it short, they, for some reason, add the H in there.
There you go.
But that's not an alphabet letter in Japanese. So I'm not sure why the H goes in there, but it goes in there.
Nicest people ever.
Yeah. Nicest people ever.
Yeah. We stayed with them for a few days. They lived in Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this river cruise would make several. It was a day cruise.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something you get up, you go in the morning, you travel up and down the river, and it had multiple stops that you could get off and do things. Kind of fun places. They had amusement gardens, which I think were the precursors to like amusement parks, where they had like carnival games and stuff, but they were legitimate gardens.
Oh.
And everyone in their proper, suits and hats.
Our amusement gardening.
Yeah.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
And then they, you'd get to the end of the line, maybe you'd have dinner or something, and then you'd get back on the boat and you come back home.
Oh, so you're not sleeping on the
Nope.
boat?
It's all day trip.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep. So, so this is the kind of thing you might do. If you're super poor.
If you're fancy.
If you're fancy, but you would do for a date or a nice Sunday outing with your kids or something like that.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
A special occasion. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the company, this boat
Okay.
was called the Princess Alice.
Oh, it wasn't the Carnival
It
cruise?
wasn't a carnival cruise.
Oh, thank
it was
goodness.
A Princess Alice.
Princess
I don't know what
Alice.
the company's name was, actually. They had 6 boats. The Princess Alice was one of them. Again, it was 1878. And this company had, like I said, 6 of these boats. So the way it worked, you could get off and on any of them. Like you could buy a ticket, and maybe in the morning you go up on the George Albert. And
I
then,
see.
But you don't get back on that one.
Right, you get on the
stay
next
and have
one.
dinner, and then you get on the next one.
Kind of like a bus concept.
Exactly like a bus concept.
Interesting. Okay.
So because of that, you never really knew how many people were on your boat.
Right.
You knew how many ticketed passengers you had, but they kind of came and went throughout the day.
Interesting. Okay.
This particular one with the Princess Alice was billed as a moonlight cruise.
Like at nighttime.
So it would go in the day until about 7:30 at night, and then it would start its way back, and the sun would set, and you'd be cruising down the Thames River as in the dark, and you could see the lights of London and
All that fanciness.
yeah. In my brain, I picture like Peter Pan style London.
Oh, of course. You have to
I don't know
picture-
what year Peter Pan takes place in.
That's a great
Probably
question. Probably what?
Probably later than 1878.
Yeah, probably later, but still, I don't think it too far off.
Yeah.
Early night. I don't know. It's a great movie.
Yeah, but it sounds like a nice night, right?
It sounds
nice
lovely. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when we went on that WSU toga cruise with Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the accounting club or something.
Yeah, I have no idea how we got invited to this. I don't know if he just said, "Oh, it's okay, just come."
Yeah.
We had to wear togas, and
So I grew up on the Columbia River, and they have this massive,
like a riverboat.
it's a riverboat. Yeah, that you
Does
can,
it have the big thing in the back that's
I think so.
that like spins or whatever?
Yeah.
I think so.
But anyways, his college, he's an accountant. He's my accountant. But I think it was their accounting club rented out like this whole boat,
It had food.
but for a toga party.
Oh yeah, it was.
And we got invited, so we wore sheets.
Yeah, we tied them up all. Yeah, doodad. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, but it was a night. What made me think of was in Mexico, coming back
from the island, or not the island, but the peninsula.
Yeah, from wherever that place is.
Rhythms of the Night.
Yeah.
But like I can't remember the name of the place.
Of the actual place. But there is something magical about being out on the open water at night
seeing all the lights. Yeah, for sure.
Do you remember when we were coming back last time and all the birds flying around
in front of the lights, because they were kind of using the lights to be able to see the bugs or fish in the water? I don't actually know.
There's just tons of seagulls flying in front of our boat. And then
even like a big crane. There was like other
Remember the one that hit the boat?
Yep.
And then went right into the
through.
Boat. Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that. I was thinking, I'm so glad I'm on the upper level.
Yeah. So, anyways, nights, boat time.
It's cool.
Nope. I said that backwards. Boats, nighttime, not boat time.
Well,
but it's magical.
It is magical.
So that's what they were. And like I said, they had this policy where you could come and go on any of their ships that you wanted. So this one particularly was quite crowded because lots of people throughout the day had waited to get back on
at night
to head back. So the ship leaves at about 6:30 to make its return voyage back. And something interesting happens. Before they leave back to London, the helmsman of the Princess Alice, so that's the guy that controls the wheel, was given permission to stay behind. And a passenger seaman was given the job to drive the boat back.
Why?
This is a great question. I don't know why. And if you seem like this is a bad idea, it probably is.
It sounds like a bad idea to me, but I'm not like a captain of a big ship. I've driven little boats, but that seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah. So the Princess Alice was about 220 feet long. So it's not a small boat.
No, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah, it's a big boat, but not so big.
Well, sure, not like cruise ship nowadays big, but still.
But big enough. So yeah, I don't know if this guy was like friends of the captain.
Okay.
And so when the helmsman was like, "Hey, can I just stay here?" He's like, "Actually, my buddy Jack." That's not his name. I just made that up. But he's on the boat. Sure, he can drive us home.
I just can't foresee how this is ever going to be a good idea. But okay.
I don't foresee it being a good idea either because we're talking about it on this podcast.
Okay, so
but that's where we are, and I've lost my place, so I don't know where we are.
So this guy is just gonna step up and take the job, and the helmsman's not there.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right.
So, first part goes smoothly. For about an hour, they're going fine down the river.
Perfect.
But around 7:40, and it's dark at this point, the captain of the Princess Alice notices another ship coming at them. Excuse me. This is the SS Bywell Castle. Ships always have funny names.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they're coming down the river towards the Princess Alice. And they're both kind of in the same lane.
Okay.
It's like, oh, this
You can't just like slide over? Like.
I don't know how big or small the river is here.
That's
but
true.
the Bywell Castle was a much, much bigger ship. Not a shipper or a stripper or anything, just a ship. It was a much bigger ship.
Okay.
It was actually an ocean-worthy ship. Like it would carry coal from London all the way down to Africa.
Oh, wow. It's a huge ship.
Yeah, it was about 4 times as big
Okay.
as the Princess Alice.
Have we gotten to the point where the people we're talking about are even on this ship yet?
What do you mean?
I thought you said for somebody. Like, are we talking about specific people?
No, we're talking about lots of people.
Lots of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the people that are on the boat.
All the peoples. Okay. I didn't know if there was like, like a main character or a main couple or like.
Because most of the time we have main characters.
Well, yeah. So I was just trying to figure out if we're talking about specifically certain things that have happened to like just a few people, but this is like all the passengers.
We're going to get there.
Okay. Perfect. I'm trying not to jump the gun.
That's okay.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. So, much bigger ship. They're both going kind of right at each other.
Oh, gee. This is terrible.
The captain of the Princess Alice starts screaming, but it's not like the other boat can hear him screaming.
Why don't they try to get out of each other's way?
Well, they do try to get out of each other's way. They both turn right.
Isn't there like a road, like which side you pass on?
Well, and you have your red light on your starboard and your green light.
Right,
on
but
your port
isn't there
side.
like a natural flow of traffic on the water?
I don't know.
Oh no.
So what happens when you both turn right and you're facing each other?
You go like this.
You go right. No, you're facing each other, and they turn right, and they turn right.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it's good if you miss each other. If not, you're turning right into each other. Like if you both turn left, then you go away from each other. If you both turn right, you're turning into the exact same.
Yeah.
Right into each other.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So this is why the video's so nice. You can see my hand motions.
Oh yeah, your hand motions are very scientific.
Very scientific. I'm sure
Yes.
That's what they did afterwards.
I'm sure all these people are feeling much better now.
So they end up going not away from each other.
Sounds
into each other. And the much larger SS Bywell Castle hits.
Let's just call it the SS.
Let's call it the Bywell Castle.
Okay.
They're both SS. Technically.
Okay. Bywell.
Anyways, the Bywell hits the Princess Alice right in the middle of her starboard side, or right side.
Dang.
And essentially, because she's so much bigger, and ships are always girls for some reason, she cuts her directly in half.
Ooh.
Like just gone. Right in 2. Now we have 2 Princess Alices.
Okay, this sounds absolutely terrible.
You may not know this, but when you have a hole in a boat,
they start sinking.
I
know this.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
we have a boat, so I'm glad you know this.
I feel like I know this.
Oh my!
I feel like everyone knows this, even like probably 6 or 7 year olds.
Yeah. So having your boat cut into 2 boats, bad.
Yeah,
not the best thing that can happen.
But it's just a river, so it can't be that bad.
Well, let's talk about what can happen in a river. Because you're right, it's just a river.
Yeah.
What can be so bad?
You're not in the middle of the ocean.
You're not in the middle of the ocean. You're right. So it can't be that bad at all, right?
Okay. Yeah. I hope not.
So we got over 700 people on board. We don't know exactly how many because...
So is the Bywell just fine? Like they just keep on cruising?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it's like a semi-truck hitting a Geo Metro.
It's just...
I mean, I'm sure there's some dents and some scratches.
But it's like...
But it's not doing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, gosh.
So the Princess Alice is now the Princess Alice's. There's no 2 of them.
The front and the back.
The front and the back. And they start going down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these 700 passengers, a lot of them are on the deck. They're outside because that's the whole point of the cruise, right? Is to be watching the lights and all that. So they're instantly gone from this leisurely night of now being thrown into the water.
Complete mayhem.
Complete mayhem. And when you have a ship split in 2, they sink really, really fast.
Well, the other thing about that is, like, I feel like a lot of things would have gotten ruined. So even if you had safety boats or whatever to deploy them and to whatever, however that works, I mean, you might need the controls from one half of the boat or, oh gosh, this just sounds...
It's true. So the Princess Alice actually had 5 watertight compartments built into it to control flooding, but they were rendered useless immediately. Because you're not planning for your ship to get
ripped
broken into 2. You're expecting a hole in your ship, you know?
Oh, this is terrible.
And so everyone's being, thrown into the river. But you say, how bad can a river be? A couple things are going on
more than anything,
here.
I just feel like as a human, I can see land in sight. I can hopefully get to the edge.
Right.
Now, it probably has walls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or I don't know.
I mean, so
it just doesn't feel like as terrifying to me. Obviously, if you were right where it got hit, then you're probably injured. But I'm just thinking like, okay, I'm a human. I can see the end. I can get to the end. I can get to the side of the river.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
So we got a few things going on with this. One, most people, surprisingly, back in Victorian times, couldn't swim.
Oh.
I mean, you have a natural ability to try to keep your head above
sure,
water.
But yeah.
Two, they all wear well. These were generally
like
more
gowns.
wealthy
They're
people.
wearing,
They're wearing wool, heavy, suits and big fancy gowns. And this is why you should always travel in sweatpants, everybody.
They probably have corsets and they're half passed out already.
Third, when you have a ship going down that fast, it's pulling everything down with it. Like it's, all this negative pressure in the water. So it's hard to get away from a sinking ship that's going down that fast. The ship sank in 4 minutes.
Wait, both halves or just one half?
Nope, both. And that's how fast, that's how cleanly it was cut.
Wow.
Yeah, so you had like zero time to...
Really?
You watch the Titanic, they're playing their music. Like, oh, okay, everyone have a good death, like we're going out nicely.
Yeah.
This is chaos. But the thing that really made it the worst of all was that this part of the Thames River was where both the north and the south sewage systems dumped all of their waste twice a day. And when we say twice a day, 75 million gallons of waste twice a day.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Yeah, of raw sewage that got pumped
Straight into the water?
Straight into the water to go out to sea.
Oh, sick.
And we're talking the height of the Industrial Revolution, London. So this is all of the waste of all of the slaughterhouses, all the factories, all just the human waste, any kind of industrial factory or normal factory. So there's animal parts, there's feces, there's everything.
Okay, time out.
75 million gallons twice a day. It had just happened like an hour before all this got pumped.
Time out. This is...
Okay.
Time
out.
We're
out.
I can't. Okay, hold on. Whoever, maybe they do this all over the place, thought that this was a good idea to put all of this in a river in like chunks. Like if you're on this beautiful river cruise and you're looking out on the water and you're seeing and smelling this, is that not strange? It's kind of like faux pas.
So I've thought about doing an episode on this at some point. There is a thing in Victoria, England, actually called the Great Stink, because the river was so terribly bad that it was a legitimate problem for all of Londoners.
Well, obviously.
And so and I don't remember if this is before or after the Great Stink.
People everywhere think this is a good idea to just go straight into the river?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that later.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't.
No, you're good. We get here all the time.
Okay, so they had just done this 1 hour ago.
This was the common thing to do.
I can't handle this.
And so it wasn't even that they were sinking in water. They were sinking in a thick, black, tar-like sludge that was super toxic.
Oh my gosh, this is literally a nightmare.
So you hit that water, it's not water. It's something else. One chemist described it as this, I quote, "2 continuous columns of decomposed fermenting sewage hissing like soda water with baneful gases, so black that the water is stained for miles and discharging a corrupt charnel house odor that will be remembered by all as being particularly depressing and sickening." Unquote. I should have read that in a British accent.
Yeah, you should have.
That would have made it better.
That would have.
So, like I said, the Princess Alice sank in 4 minutes, but into this super pitch black toxic sludge. So people, not only could they not swim, and they were in these heavy coats.
I mean, even if you could swim, you probably have serious issues.
And so
Oh,
is right. So the crew of the Bywell Castle obviously are like mortified. Like they're just on the deck as well. They're not driving the boat or anything, right? So they're throwing ropes, they're loading lifeboats, they're trying to do anything they can.
Help.
They said the scene was just imagine just pitch black, right? And just screaming.
Oh,
The sound of the boat going down. And they said within 10 minutes, it was complete silence. Either you had been rescued or you were dead at that point.
because of the toxicity, or because
You drown or
like you
but
literally
it literally
couldn't
just
swim.
was dead silent at that point. There was no one else calling for help. There was no one else. Yeah, and so either you drowned in a sewage of dead animals and feces, or like I said, they got you with a rope or a boat, but it was very, very.
Do
very
you tell
few.
us like how many people made it?
Mm-hmm. So about 130 people were rescued.
Out of
700 and some. They don't know the exact number. They think between 650 and 750. So about 700. So 130 were rescued, but like I said, they don't know how many
officially were on
started.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One person who survived said the following, and I quote, "I noticed something very peculiar in the water. Both the taste and smell were something dreadful, something I could not describe. Having been down to the bottom and having rose again with my mouth full of it, I could give a very good picture of it. It was the most horrid water I'd ever tasted, and the smell was also equally bad." Unquote. It's a very kind of a funny description of how terrible.
I mean, that's not funny at all. It's absolutely wretched. Just the thought of all of it. But they lived.
So 130 lived.
No, I mean like the person that actually got water.
Yep.
Sounds like in their mouth, they still lived.
They did. Now, there was, of those 130 that were rescued, a fair number of them did die
shortly
thereafter, just due to the toxicity of the water. Having consumed so much of it, they just got sick and died.
Yeah, I don't know how that's... I mean, even think of your foot. Your foot just got like in the water of Katrina, right? And you got swollen and your foot turned into like a sausage. And that was just your feet in,
So I was in Honduras when Katrina rolled through. And Katrina didn't hit Honduras.
But there was like aftermath.
But I was living on the beach and just being... we still got these huge hurricane swells. And it's actually really fascinating. The water seeps up. It's like so porous, like the sandy beachness, but even, a mile or two into inland, that when the hurricane comes, it gets so saturated, the water just starts like coming up from the ground.
It's crazy.
And then once the surges come, there's nowhere for the water to drain. And so the place where I was living flooded like up to my waist, and there's dead cats floating around and all sorts of stuff. And my foot got very infected, and it looked like a hot dog when you leave it on the barbecue too long, and then it just starts splitting. Ugh. I couldn't put shoes on or anything.
Yeah, that picture still lives in my mind.
Yeah. And that was, you're right, not even anything like this.
That doesn't sound anything as bad. I mean, there still was...
It's dirty water.
Dirty water and dead animals, but not to the same, obviously, degree as this.
No.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Very terrible.
Okay.
And so then the task began of having to pull the bodies out. Cleaning up the accident.
But if it's so black, I don't know how you can.
Well, and that's the thing. So the local watermen were hired, and they were offered 5 shillings for each corpse that they recovered. I tried to do some math and figure out what that meant. And it's really hard because, one, England doesn't have shillings anymore. And then to convert it to US dollars and then go back with inflation, I think, and I could be very wrong, I think it's about $10.
$10 a body?
Yeah.
Can you hire like a fishing boat and almost like pull them out by a net?
Maybe. I've never done this before.
Ugh. Well, you can't send anyone else into this water.
Well, they'd send lots of people in the water, like in boats.
I mean to go into the water.
No, you're right.
They cannot ask anyone for $10.
You're right. So these guys were just...
kind of like fishing them out.
Like the corpses are floating on the surface. They're stuck in the thick sludge,
How does a boat even run? I feel like it would
Well, I
ruin
assume
the
these
boat.
are rowboats. But these are guys who are just out there
Okay, because you're in a
manually
river. Yeah,
going out there.
I'm sure of it.
And I can't imagine. It actually became like people were fighting over the bodies because there was money and these super poor.
They wanted the
super
money.
Rough times.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Um,
Wow.
But they said the bodies could scarcely be seen because they were like the same color as the sludge. They were so covered in this thick nastiness that you couldn't tell what was bodies, what was debris, what was just sludge. The sludge has a bunch of crap in it anyways, right?
Yeah.
Animal parts and, so... I mean, it's just gross. I'm not trying to be gross, but it is gross. And to really get a description of what was going on, it's gross.
Oh, it's sad too.
And the other problem they had is once they pulled the bodies out, they couldn't identify them because they couldn't get the crap off of them.
Were they trying to still identify all of them? Yeah.
Yeah. They were, because obviously you have,
family
700
members.
people who are dead and all sorts of families. And most of them probably come from better off families or they wouldn't be on the boat to begin with.
Generally speaking, I would assume.
These aren't orphans and, paupers. But yeah, they couldn't get the sludge off. But even if they could find a body and get the sludge off, because the bacteria from that, the body is so bloated,
eroded and
decayed so fast.
Oh, this is terrible.
That identification was like almost impossible.
Then this is where dental records come in?
Probably not.
Oh.
I mean, nowadays, sure.
No, I was just thinking like this is when they realized like, oh, hey,
maybe.
The only thing that's not eroding or, decayed is their teeth.
That might be. I mean, that's definitely true, but I doubt they
not
did.
And still too early at that point.
And the bodies were kind of, over the next couple of days popping up all over the place. And so they would pull them out and they would just leave them there. I mean, not like on the shore, but they would find a place. And so family members were running constantly up and down the shores all over town trying to identify loved ones.
This is so sad.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. It actually still to this day is the largest maritime disaster, I believe, in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So eventually both of the halves of the ship were recovered.
Oh, they were.
And they pulled them up.
Wow.
And huge crowds gathered on shore to watch them. And I wonder how you pull a giant boat like that back in the day.
I don't know.
Because, those are 100 feet long each, 110 feet long, roughly. Mm-hmm. And they're so full of stuff. And that was one thing they said, too. So once they pulled them up onto shore, they found, like, the stairwells, the passageways was jammed full of people who were trying to escape because it went down so fast. So everyone's rushing to the exits and can never even get up onto the deck, let alone out into the gross water before the ship goes down.
Yeah.
So, because like I said, it went down in 4 minutes. So if you weren't on deck, you weren't going to get there.
No, definitely not. Not at that point.
So
goodness.
There were 2 people who were below deck when the accident happened that survived.
Wow.
And I don't know where they were or what the circumstance was.
Circumstances were.
But only 2. So an investigation was performed, and they found eventually that the Princess Alice was at fault. And they found they had too many people on board for the amount of lifeboats. Go figure, since they don't know how many people are on board.
Well, go figure, but they didn't, in this instance, it made no difference, but yeah.
Because there ain't no
time. Yeah, there's no time. That's sad.
So there were some things that changed because of this. For one, it was decided, and you're going to love this, Ethne. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
They decided it probably wasn't a good idea to dump 75 million gallons of raw sewage into the river twice a day.
Whoa. I'm glad they figured that out, that this was like the turning point that helped them figure that out. I feel like you could have figured that out without this, but that's maybe just me.
Your job here is to come up with good solutions. So here's my question for you. You've got 150 million gallons of raw sewage every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to pump it into the river anymore. So what do you do with it?
Oh,
that's good that you don't want to pump in the river, but you still got to solve the problem.
Find a landfill?
Maybe.
Pump it to the landfill?
And then you just pour it into the ground?
Well, I mean,
toxic waste in the ground is good.
Start
This is where the Ninja Turtles come from, by the way.
sewer treatment plant.
That's a really good idea today.
Well, maybe that's when this started. They're like, hey, what can we do with this?
So they didn't do that.
I mean, obviously we do something with it all today. We don't dump it into the waters, right?
They do not. What they ended up doing was they made these special boats, and they would pump it all into the special boats. And then instead of dumping in the river, the boats would take it out to the ocean and just dump it directly in the ocean.
That's such a great idea.
How long do you think it took them before they stopped doing that? Before they figured out that wasn't a good idea?
Probably a couple decades.
Nope. Try like 100 years. 1998 is when that stopped.
1998?
Yeah. Like when you were in high school.
Wait, they've been doing... This is terrible. I can't even. Are you serious right now?
That's what the internet told me. And I always trust the internet.
Yeah, you should trust the internet, I guess. I can't even handle this. Bugs me so bad. I mean, I will say the ocean has the capacity to break down and biodegrade terrible stuff faster simply for its salt water. But that still doesn't make it okay.
No, it definitely doesn't make it okay. It blows my mind how big the ocean really is. You know, like let's say you take a cup of water and you put a drop of, blue food coloring in it. And the whole thing's blue. You do that same drop into a swimming pool, you don't notice it. I mean, it's still there, but you don't notice it, right?
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. You could be pumping hundreds of millions of gallons of waste into the ocean.
I think you do notice it.
I mean, yes, obviously. But as a general, like you walk to the beach, you're like, oh, it still looks like a blue ocean.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to that part of the world, but I really can't imagine that it looks that great.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, maybe now since they stopped doing it in 1998, it's finally decided that it's like, oh, we can get over this. But that's so terrible.
So terrible. All that waste. They also did change some of the rules on
kind of like boating and like a road.
Yeah, well, having you should probably know how many people are on your boat.
True.
And you should probably have enough lifeboats for them.
Yeah, true. These are all good things.
Yeah. So the company actually went bankrupt about 6 years later.
Oh.
They couldn't make it.
Because of that crash, you think?
I don't know if it's particularly because of that
people
crash,
were afraid after that, or
maybe the river cruises and the sludge just weren't that great of an idea to begin with. I mean, can you imagine even if the trip went perfectly well?
How disgusting that is? Yeah.
You're like, oh man, this part really is terrible. But you lived in that filth all the time.
Yeah, so
I mean, even if you were upper class, you're still smelling this junk all the time.
Yeah, so maybe maybe
it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, just were like, you put your little handkerchief to your nose and breathe through it until you get past that section of the river. I mean, I don't even know.
But literally, it'd be like drowning, like falling in an outhouse and drowning. Like that's
it's terrible.
So terrible.
So sad.
So the SS Bible Castle, the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
It did get away without really much of a scratch, but in 1883, 5 years later, it was caught in a huge storm in the ocean off the coast of Portugal and was never heard from again.
Oh,
so
sad.
it ended up going down too, but for very different reasons.
But that wouldn't have been on its trip taking coal to Africa, or would it have been?
Yeah.
Okay.
Portugal's right there.
So some storm happened. And they just...
Right across from Morocco.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That exact same ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if there was collateral damage from running into that other boat that maybe they never...
Yeah, who knows?
I
mean, probably not, because 5 years later is a pretty long time. But...
That's true. That's probably true.
They probably made a ton of runs between that time.
I'm sure they did, yeah. Interesting. Wow. That is... I keep thinking about how just...
That would be terrible.
Yeah, devastating that is.
I mean, it's terrible all the way around. Like, it'd be terrible to be the person drowning in sewage. It'd be the terrible to lose a loved one that way.
Yeah.
There were a ton of kids on the boat.
Well, and just like trying to rescue, and then, both boats trying to turn out of the way. And then the guy who said, hey, let my other friend, drive the boat. And then, I don't know. There's just so many things,
So it's interesting. When I do a lot of these scripts, I will find a story, and then I will usually find like 3 or 4 accounts of the same story and go through them. And then I'll find articles on it and, all the things. And that detail of the helmsman leaving and someone else coming, I only heard on one spot, but it's a guy that generally is way more detailed than a lot of other people that I listen to. Because that was, to me too, like a really big red flag, like just weird, like why your pilot or helmsman would leave. And then you just let some not random guy. He was still a guy well-versed with navigating waters.
Right.
And, but that just seems, I don't know, weird.
That does seem strange. But I mean, again, all these ethical things kind of like, it's probably not really ethical. You wouldn't ever be able to do that.
Definitely not.
Probably weren't even a thing to even be contemplated back then.
That's true. I mean, world's, yeah, I'm sure Industrial Revolution times in London, there was all sorts of
stuff that, yeah. And, you're evolving as you learn. So
yeah,
it's too bad though that so many people had to be lost in such a tragic way.
Of the Radium Girls? So I've thought about doing an episode on that. Maybe we will sometime.
Radium Hot Springs?
No.
I've been there.
Have I been to Radium? No. Been to Invermere.
You've been to Invermere, yeah.
So, yeah, this was, like I said, the biggest maritime disaster in England. I think it was all of England.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, not cool, but yeah, cool.
I mean, it's cool to know that was the biggest one since then. Like, they obviously learned from their mistake, right? Like, it's good to know that some changes were made from that and they learned from it. And, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign. But just a sad.
Oh, the whole thing is
story.
Yeah, so sad. But
so
yeah, strange.
That's all I got for you today.
Strange situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Last episode was a little long. This one's a little short.
Just come and we go.
Yeah. So again, if you can, please do us a favor and go to the YouTube video and just like it and leave a comment. I don't care if you watch the whole thing. It may be nice if you watch the whole thing because it tells YouTube, but
it tells YouTube that they've watched it.
Right. Like it shows how long.
Oh, okay.
So maybe you can just scroll to and then watch the last 3 minutes.
Because YouTube won't know that you scrolled.
They will. Yeah. They're much smarter than me. But
that's what I was I was kind of thinking, like they probably would know that too, but I don't actually know these things. So
but we're having a super fun time with it. So like I said, we'd really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Yeah.
About something. I'm not sure what yet. And Anthony definitely doesn't know what.
No. Nope, I sure don't.
But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be much colder here again then.
Hopefully not. Hopefully the weather holds on.
Actually, so this is my favorite time of year. It's March Madness. Today was Selection Sunday. If you're not in the States, huge college basketball tournament to crown the national champion. My 2 teams both play next Thursday. And so if they lose, might not even want to do anything. No.
Well, actually, I'm glad it's girls. Yeah,
actually,
I won't be around.
Yeah, I think he's going on a girls' trip.
Yeah, girls' trip to Canada. Mm-hmm. So if his teams lose, I won't be around for kind of the grumpiness.
I do get a little grumpy.
Yep. But if they win, I won't be around for the happiness. So,
But if they win, they play again the next weekend. So,
I'll be around for that.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Have a wonderful week, and we will be back next week.
Have a good night.
Episode. Bye.